What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. As many of you may know, within Genfinity's Hedera Corner, we have been facilitating these LightHouse rapid-fire interviews with multiple project builders in the Hedera ecosystem. It's so hard to even do the intro right now with the ski mask on, but I am happy to have Vicente here from Vceezy. And yeah, definitely want to hop right in. We try to do these 10 questions, 10 answers, and hopefully around 10 minutes or so. But how are you doing today, Vicente?
It's great. It's a Saturday morning here in Los Angeles. Can't complain.
All right,
How you
so I'm going
doing?
to hop right in and I want to ask you to describe Vceezy. Describe your crypto project. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Vceezy, in short, it's a music, fashion, survival story concept. We're building it here on Hedera. So it's those three layers, three components. We're doing communal, collaborative NFTs when it comes to the music aspect. So we'll be, live streaming, we'll be uploading files, and then the community will be able to vote basically on how these songs end up turning out and stuff. So we have a long list of really upcoming talent here in Los Angeles that are going to be participating in these NFTs, and it's going to be, it's going to be super fun.
That's awesome, dude. This kind of leads me into why are you building in Web3? And I would love to hear your answer even from the music purview, because I know it's such a
Yeah.
it's not, I don't want to say undervalued, but it's so hard to like kind of stand out in the music space because it's very like top heavy as far as money is concerned. So why are you building and why are you creating in Web3 with Vceezy?
Well, the question should always be like, why isn't everyone building on Web3, right? Like it's the ultimate equalizer. Yeah, so I mean the story really starts obviously with myself. I'm an artist, songwriter, producer here based in Los Angeles. I've been signed, to the biggest labels as an artist, and I have a publishing deal as a songwriter, producer. So I understand the music and entertainment space really well. And obviously we know how predatory it is and the amount of gatekeeping that occurs, and that's just so disheartening for and defeating and deflating for so many artists, and obviously you can attest to this, this. So that's where Vceezy really comes in. I'm building an experience that marries my love for music and entertainment and fashion, and curating that through my experiences and relationships in the business, right? Because Web3 is such a huge opportunity for creatives of every industry, really, to have a chance to be heard and shine the light on themselves and other like-minded people. So yeah, and more importantly, we have a mechanism now where we can be fairly compensated for it. So yeah, that's really how the CZ started. And if you have some vision and business acumen, you can position yourself and your community into being early, on the next wave of commerce and business and everything. So yeah, that's really why I got into it.
100%. And even to extrapolate out on that, I guess I have to ask why Hedera. And I think there's synergy in with what you just said as well, where it's like standing out amidst the crowd. Like if you look at, nothing against Ethereum or those networks, but if you look at Ethereum, and if I was an artist or a creator on Ethereum or a musician on Ethereum, how would I stand out above kind of this old boys club of money that just kind of seems to float around between all these projects? So why did you choose Hedera in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, you just really said it, right? It's being early and trying to be disruptive. So I think what really draws me to Hedera specifically right now is the HIP 412, the tech, the multi-file NFTs. I think that's going to be super disruptive for the music business, right? Because now we can mint, especially on Hedera with the low fees. Obviously all the it's in the spirit of a lot of musicians, is the crypto friendly, I mean green friendly, tech, but also being able to mint your artwork, your music video, your music stems, your audio files into one NFT, right? At a fixed low cost. Like and it's super fast. I mean, when you really start thinking about that, that's where it's gonna go, because we can do so much with just one NFT.
Yeah, and the next question I always have is who is your target audience and community? But I think that I know that your target audience and community is not only the community that you've already gathered together within the Hedera community and ecosystem, but more so artists and creators. So I guess I might pivot from that question because I know who the target audience and community are. The question that I would have though is how do you do community outreach? How do you reach out to these artists? How do you get them excited about what's going on?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's we're really taking a collaborative approach here, and I think that's going to lead people to finding hidden, because it's not really just musicians, especially like on Hedera, because we're so early in this space and it's so small that you really can't cater your whole project to musicians on Hedera yet. You have to just find people that are just passionate about pop culture and entertainment and just being part of fun stuff. So I think with the collaborative nature of what we're building here, it allows everyone to be an artist, right? Because you can decide on how these songs turn out, or how the art turns out, or how the merch turns out. And I think that everybody is an artist, right, in their own sense of the word. They just don't know it yet. And I think with DAOs and the opportunity that NFT and communities present, it allows everyone to participate in Web3, and in my case, music, entertainment, and fashion.
Yeah, that's awesome. I agree 100%. The question that I have next is, so what differentiates Vceezy from other projects that you see building in Web3? And maybe not even other projects building on Web3, but other projects building on Hedera. Is there anything else in Hedera right now that is trying to accomplish the same thing? Where do you think you're at with that? And then how would you compete outside of the Hedera ecosystem as well?
Yeah, I think my experience in the business and all my networks that come along with it, I think really gives me a unique, skill set, and is valuable to this space, right? I think it's critical for mass adoption of crypto and NFTs that we provide these experiences that the general public already knows and loves, right? Everyone loves music and entertainment already. So we're already accustomed to paying for that. So I think with music NFTs, we're gonna really have that natural evolution for people to, like, come to Hedera because of the opportunities the network presents. And the ownership it brings to access. I think the access and the ownership it brings when you're buying these NFTs is what's really cool. As far as Hedera, yeah, I think there's a few other music projects, but they're just, I think they're just kind of focusing on musicians for now. Where I'm focusing more on the experience, and how that feels for people and how it makes people feel.
I have some ideas that I literally just thought of while we were in this interview, so I'll have to DM you on the side because I don't want anybody to maybe take them. But yeah. So I guess number 5 here that I have is, what partnerships or collaborations have you had already in the space? And I know that you definitely have some that you would love to talk about. If you can, maybe give us some alpha. What's going on? So
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we partnered up with Hgraph Punks, and we're delivering a music metaverse experience called the Liftoff, where all you have to do is hold a Vceezy or a punk, and you'll be able to access these live concerts that we're going to bring to Hedera. And we're going to be our first one I'm producing right now here in Los Angeles. We have a couple of up and coming artists and bands that are going to participate, and to me, that's the ultimate way of onboarding people to Hedera, is showing them, hey, let's throw a concert. You're gonna have access to our communities, right? Punks have huge outreach. I'm building mine, and if you give these new artists, hey, here's 5,000 people you could perform for overnight, and you could go into the Discord and start building your own community. And that's really what we're trying to do here, is provide an opportunity for artists to not only exist but thrive, right?
we've all been in that position. Well, at least most musicians that I know, where you have amazing turnouts for certain things, and then you played in front of 3 people before as well, which is like just a totally huge separation, which I think that is what Web3 represents, even from like an entertainment standpoint, where you know that you're going to have the numbers, which is crazy. I want to ask you, so how many team members do you have right now? What are their backgrounds? And then if it's if it's not a lot of team members, maybe go into kind of the Hedera community and the Hedera community builders that have supported what you're doing, because I would consider that, equally as viable as far as the team's concerned.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm a sole founder team. It's just me, but I would consider my team 1,000 Discord members, right? The people that are in there grinding every day, and yeah, I think it's just all believing in what we can do here, right? As not only a network, but this project itself is providing onboarding opportunities for music and pop culture, right? Because that's what really makes the world go around, right? Is memes and music, and our perception of musicians' interpretation of fashion and everything. So I think it's something that people are already familiar with. But as far as devs, yeah, I mean, like, again, Hgraph Punks, Turtle Moon, all these people have partnered up with me, and I'm I'm a guy in a neon green mask, but hopefully they align with my sensibilities, and so far they have, and we're building some really cool stuff. So yeah, it's exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think you touched on this a little bit, but milestones and achievements that you've accomplished thus far. If you
Yeah.
could go into that a little bit, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I think our first major milestone was right out the gate. I think we sold our first V1 collection entirely on Discord. And we sold out in about 20 minutes in November of 2021, right? There was no launch pad. The space was baby, and everyone thought I was crazy. Like, you're not going to sell out a whole collection on Discord. And we did it. And I think that was really the first indicator of like, wow, like, one, Vceezy will do its own thing. We're not going to listen to what you think is not possible. We're going to go ahead and try that. And I think that really like set the precedent to what's possible. And then we recently had a collaboration with Punks. We did Vceezy Punks 6 NFTs, and we raised 250,000 each for our launch pad, and that goes so far as booking venues here in LA and paying some for some cool artists to have some money in their pockets to perform.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a massive achievement. We were both here back then, watching kind of the one-to-one transactions between creators and community members, and it was a wild time back then. And it's crazy to even look today. Like, I looked on just one, marketplace, which is Zeus, and there's like 1.5 million H bar in volume.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts to see where it's gotten to. Leads me into, you kind of see that timeline where it's like back in November, I was literally trying to facilitate business aspects through a Discord. Now here we are, pretty much almost a year later in November of this year, and so much has changed. So where do you see Vceezy, and where do you see, from your purview, Vicente, where do you see yourself in 2, 3, 4 years in this space? What would you like to have accomplished? How do you see the brand aspects developing out with Vceezy? How do you see, I guess, in Web3, music really, I think, is going to really take off, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one more iteration that gets swallowed by this space. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the future for the project, for the brand, for yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I think macro, it's really helping launch some amazing musicians and digital artists and devs and whatever, because really Vceezy is a collaboration vessel is kind of what I've been calling it. I knew my weaknesses as a founder going in immediately, and I attacked them. I'm like, I need to get great devs, right? Partner with Turtle Moon and Punks. I need to get great digital artists, right? And to me, it's like always staying fresh, introducing new people to the community and having new perspectives, right? And I think that really is going to push the culture of not only Vceezy, but Hedera moving forward, because we just have to keep injecting coolness, right? And I think that's one of the things that I bring to the table is, I live in LA and I'm in the music business, and I have access to a lot of tastemakers. And my job here is to onboard them to Hedera, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, would you like to tell the audience that's listening into this, any different initiatives that you might have coming up over the next week or so? Because I know that I do think that you have something coming up next week as well.
Yeah, so we're dropping the CZV2. It's our second collection, but it's our first actual full collection. It's 1,000 NFTs. We're doing that in 2 drops. The first drop is this Wednesday, October 26th, and it'll be a whitelist mint. The next day will be a full public mint, and yeah, it's 500 NFTs. The price is 1,808 each. Every NFT was handmade. We didn't use a script to generate the art. It's 3D art, so a lot of time and effort went into making sure that these NFTs look not only unique, obviously, but the care that went into them is really important, because I'm really trying to build a premium product, right? They're 3D. It's a 3D NFT, which is already an elevated experience, but making sure that the outfits, the sizing of the clothes, it really feels cool, and that was important to me. So the first wave is this Wednesday, October 26th. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, and I usually ask as the last question when Moon, but I will ask it's just super like Kishi. Yeah, but for anybody interested in learning more about what Vceezy is doing, where would you like us to drive traffic towards, for at least from a knowledge standpoint? Is it the Twitter? Is it the Discord?
Yeah, it's definitely the Discord. You have to feel the experience, because there's a lot of awesome conversations going on there. But it's discord.gg/Vceezy. And go ahead and reach out to us on Twitter at Vceezy NFT. You know, and really the best, my advice is just drop in and explore the server. There's so much awesome discussion from the music channels. We have music discovery happening in there, artists sharing their own music. We have a fashion channel where we have some up and coming fashion designers that are sharing their sketches. And it's just a cool place if you're into like creativity and pop culture.
Well, dude, I speak for Genfinity and myself 100%. I know it's been difficult nailing down this interview, and I really, really appreciate your time because I know how busy you are in the space and how busy you are to maintain that community. So definitely going to get this video out as quickly as possible for you. And love all of the insight, love what you're doing from the music aspects as far as NFTs, the brand aspect, really building out experience as well. So yeah, definitely check out Vceezy and Vicente. I really, really appreciate your time. So thank you very much. And look forward to definitely, I'm sure we'll be doing this again, probably 6 months, 8 months down the road again. So
100. And we're gonna get a music NFT with you. Put that guitar back there. We'll get the first King Solomon music NFT, baby.
100%, dude. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate the time.